Hello, I'm Andrew Goodrich, the newest member of the Board of Selectmen. And I guess I wanted to first just thank everyone coming out to town meeting this past Saturday. And also just thank everyone involved putting that together. It was a challenge, but it was a challenge that was well done, and just thank everyone from the town clerk all the way down to all the volunteers and folks who even came out to do it. But more importantly, we were able to actually pass some real meaningful policy around water infrastructure and probably most important, some wastewater infrastructure. Talking about down at Cedar Point, or kind of down by the lighthouse, if you don't know where Cedar Point actually is. It's a big project that we're going to make some real significant progress with. But also, I want to thank Nancy Holt and Jim and everyone for the budget. The budget itself takes into account some possible reduction in state aid, yet it's keeping essential services for our town. And I want to just thank everyone for their hard work for doing that, but most importantly, for the folks coming out to vote in favor of the budget for us to do this. So thank you. I also want to remind folks that you can still get a transfer sticker station sticker. So please go online. If you haven't done so, you're not too late. And also, anyone heading down to Minot Beach, that area, make sure no one is using those trash bins for household trash. Please. Please don't use those trash bins putting in your own personal trash. Again, get a transfer sticker station sticker, and let's be using that. With that, Jim.
So, thanks, Andrew. On the COVID front, we had an antibody case over the weekend, one positive antibody case. That's the only positive case we've had in a week, so our numbers continue to be good. They continue to be good in the Commonwealth. Right now we are doing about 2% positive cases from testing, so that's a good number for us. We're seeing what's happening in other parts of the country where the numbers are spiking, so we need to keep being vigilant. We'll say it again, we say it every week, mask, social distancing, and hand washing are working in Massachusetts, so please keep it up. The town will be instituting phase 2 of our water restrictions effective immediately. This is a total ban on all non-essential outdoor water use. No watering of your lawns with irrigation systems or sprinklers, no washing of cars, no filling of pools. Handheld only for gardens, flowers, and plants, and that's still before 9 a.m. and after 5 p.m. This is a proactive step that we're taking in case the drought continues to protect our water supply. We are still averaging more than 2 million gallons a day, which is significantly higher than what we normally do. We're not alone. Towns around us are seeing high water use, but we want to get out early and make sure we're protecting our water supply. So we're going to put the water ban in, again, effective immediately. We did have well 22 offline last week. We talked about that. It had to have some repairs made. Those repairs were finished. It is back online. We're doing about 230 gallons a minute from that well, which is up significantly from what we had. But again, the amount of water that we're using on a daily basis, we need to get out in front of this and start protecting our water supply so we don't have problems later on. July 4th is this weekend, always a very festive time in Scituate. We remind people of the social distancing and the masks. Key safety restrictions that you need to be aware of. Bonfires are not allowed. You can't have a small cooking fire or campfire, but you have to follow state guidelines, including a maximum of 3 feet in diameter and 16 inches in height. If you have a non-compliant fire, the fire department will come and put it out, and you could be subject to fines. The consumption of alcohol on public ways, town property, or beaches is not allowed. The consumption of marijuana in public places is not allowed. Underage consumption of alcohol and/or marijuana will be strictly enforced this weekend. This one I always kind of laugh at. Fireworks are illegal in Massachusetts, but we always seem to see them on the 3rd and 4th in Scituate and Marshfield. Hummerock parking prohibitions will go in effect on 4 o'clock July 3rd and remain in effect through sunrise on July 4th. So we ask you to stay safe, keep up with the COVID guidelines. In addition, for you boaters, Operation Dry Water will be this holiday weekend. It's a nationwide outreach and enforcement campaign with the goal of raising awareness of the dangers of boating under the influence. The Scituate Maritime Unit, the Harbor Master, and the Coast Guard will be out with increased boater patrols this weekend to promote boater safety and boater responsibility. In terms of the economy, we are still in Phase 2, Step 2 of the reopening. Phase 3 is scheduled to begin next week, July 6th. That's going to depend on where we are with our COVID numbers, so we will see what happens this week, whether we're going to go to the next phase. The guidance on the school reopening came out last week. I know the school administration is looking at that closely, reviewing those guidelines to see what school will look like when fall comes and we have to get the students either back in school or back in some mode of learning. Two more things, the schedule for the town hall. Right now, we are scheduled to reopen the town hall starting next Monday, July 6th. Again, that will be dependent upon what the COVID numbers look like statewide and guidance from the state. We ask you to continue taking advantage of our online services. If you don't need to come into the town hall and you can do it online, we ask you to continue to do it online for your safety and the safety of the town employees. But right now, we are scheduled to be opening town hall to the public next week. Public meetings, public hearings will still be under the 10-person gathering limit, so those will still be continued to be done remotely, at least until they change that guideline. Finally, brown water. This is the time of year where we get our brown water complaints over the 4th of July weekend. We have our highest water use. If you experience brown water, if you experience discolored water, please report it as soon as possible to the water department by phone at 781-545-8735 or by email at brownwater@scituatema.gov. We need these calls to come in. We use these as data points for the water department to continue making improvements to the system and to get out and fix some of the problems that may be causing our discoloration. So if it's tea-colored, if it's lemonade-colored, if you're having discolored water, please call them in for the data points so we can use those to continue to make updates in our system. And then the last thing, Andrew, we want to remind people that these reports will now be every Monday. We will not be doing Monday and Thursday, so our next report will be next Monday, July 6th.
Well, thank you. Be safe and be kind.